Today, we're jumping into a really beautiful story, one of those timeless tales that sticks with you. It's all about how putting your whole heart into something, sincere, focused effort, can lead to the most amazing outcomes, especially when it looks like you've completely failed.
So let me just start by asking you this. What if your biggest, most crushing setback was actually secretly setting you up for your greatest reward? It's a pretty wild thought, right? And that question, it's right at the center of the story we're about to get into.
So, our story kicks off with a dream. And for the young man at the heart of it, an orphan who had lost everyone, this wasn't just some fantasy. No, this was his escape hatch from a pretty grim reality. It was a vision of paradise he was absolutely desperate to reach. I mean, look at the contrast here. On one side, you've got his life. After his parents died, he was totally alone, just working and working day in and day out, simply to survive. And on the other side, this heavenly realm he'd heard stories about, a place of pure, effortless joy. Talk about night and day, right? And this wasn't just some fuzzy idea of heaven. The stories he heard were so vivid. Imagine, the ground is so soft you can never get hurt. Flowers are always blooming, and the second a petal starts to wilt, a little breeze just whisks it away and a new one pops up. And the trees, get this, they don't just grow fruit. They grow whatever you desire. You're hungry, you need new clothes, a musical instrument, a branch just offers it to you. I mean, who wouldn't want to go there? So for him, this became way more than just a daydream. He learned that you could actually earn your way into a place like that through a huge act of merit, specifically by making a grand offering to the Buddha and his followers. And he decided, okay, that's it. This is my mission. So he started asking around, what does it take? How big of an offering do I need to make? And he got an answer, 30 taels of gold. Now, for a poor orphan, that is an insane amount of money, an absolute fortune. But for him, it wasn't just a number, it was a target, a real solid goal. And his dedication was just absolute. He found a wealthy employer and made him a deal. I will do any job you ask, no matter how hard, for 3 straight years. And at the end, you'll pay me 30 taels of gold. The employer was so impressed, he agreed. And for 3 long years, the young man worked his heart out, earning not just his pay, but deep respect. Finally, the day came, the pact was fulfilled, and that gold was his. He had the gold, he was ready, he and his employer, who had really come to care for him, prepared this magnificent feast. This was it. This was the moment his 3-year dream was about to come true. But you know how stories go. Just when everything seems perfect, life throws you a massive curveball. So picture this. There's an incredible spread of the most beautiful, delicious food you can imagine. The monks arrive. The orphan is just buzzing with joy and reverence, ready to finally make this grand gesture that he poured his life into. He goes up to the first monk, his hands full of food, and the monk says, "Oh, just a little, please, we have already eaten." He moves to the next monk. Same thing. And the next. And the next. Turns out, it was a festival day, and the monks had already been given tons of food before they even got there. And you can just feel his heart drop to the floor. He was just crushed, completely devastated. He's looking at this mountain of food that nobody is eating and thinking, was it all for nothing? 3 years of backbreaking work, of single-minded focus, all for this anticlimax. His dream of paradise suddenly felt a million miles away. So he goes to the Buddha, heartbroken, and explains what happened. And the Buddha reassures him, telling him his sincerity was the most important thing. But then, something happens, something nobody saw coming, and that changes his life forever. And talk about a twist of fate. That very night, while he's wondering what on earth to do with all this leftover food, a caravan of 500 merchants rolls into town. They are exhausted, they are starving, and everything is closed. They hear about the feast and come asking for help. And without even a second thought, he offers all of it to them, his heart just filled with generosity. The merchants? They were so unbelievably grateful that every single one of them gave him a precious jewel. 500 jewels in one night. Well, his employer sees this, sees his incredible character and his new wealth, and offers his daughter's hand in marriage. The story even reaches the king, who is so impressed that he makes the young man the official heir to his father-in-law's entire estate. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, the poor, lonely orphan becomes the richest, most respected man in the entire city. Wow. But here's the thing. When the merchants first offered him the jewels, he actually hesitated. He felt like he hadn't earned them, so he went back to the Buddha for some guidance, and this is where things get really interesting, because this is where we find the core lesson of the whole story. The Buddha told him, "This is the flower reward. You should accept it." And this one simple sentence, it unlocks everything. It introduces two really profound ideas that explain exactly what just happened. So first, you have the flower reward, or huabao. The best way to think about this is like a flower blossom on a tree. It's not the final fruit, right? But it's that beautiful, visible proof that the tree is healthy and that a harvest is on its way. It's the immediate, tangible result of a powerful, good intention. And then you have the fruit reward, or guobao. Now this is the big one. This is the ultimate harvest. It's the final results you were aiming for all along, the whole reason you planted the seed in the first place. It might not be immediate. It might not even be seen in the same way, but it's the true fulfillment of that original goal. So let's just lay this out so it's super clear. In his story, the flower reward, that immediate sign, was him becoming wealthy and respected in this life. It was completely unexpected, but it was a sign of his powerful good deed. But the fruit reward, the ultimate result, that was still to come. His eventual rebirth in the paradise he had worked so hard for. That flower was basically a guarantee that the fruit was on its way. So here's the big takeaway, the thing to really let sink in. Sincere, heartfelt intention is never, ever wasted. Those 3 years he worked weren't just about money. They were about cultivating this powerful, focused wish to do good. And that pure intention, it sends out these ripples. And even if your main plan totally fizzles out, those ripples will come back to you, often in ways you never ever could have expected. Which, of course, brings us back to you. These stories shows that the sincerity we put behind our efforts is what really counts. So the question to leave with is, what seeds of intention are you planting today? And maybe more importantly, are you putting your whole heart into it? Enough for them to blossom in ways you can't even begin to imagine.